some ballasting. For this operation we're going to need three things. We're going to need PVA glue, we're going to need some greaseproof paper, and we're going to use two kinds of ballast. We're going to use this brown ballast, we're going to use this grey ballast. The reason we're going to use two different kinds of ballast is we don't want it all to look new, like it's just been ballasted. We want it to look as though it's been ballasted for quite some time. The track is secured in place with screws. It's not actually tacked down, so I can lift the track by unscrewing the track screws. I won't bore you by making you watch me continue to do this. Now I cut off a piece of greaseproof paper. It's only a simple matter to push this underneath the track. So we slide the greaseproof paper under the track like this. I need just to pull this straight. Now, more or less got this where it's going to be. So now I just get a pencil and mark where I'm going to cut this. So now I just draw a line. It doesn't need to be a very accurate line, but just where you want to cut this. That's the extent of the area you're going to ballast. And similarly along this line here. Let's do it the other way. So now I pull that out. And I'll just cut it. Whoa! And cut this along this line. It doesn't really matter how, this doesn't need to be very accurate because you are only 20 greaseproof paper. That's the first piece ready. Now this is our piece of greaseproof paper. So what we do is we get this glue stick, we put some adhesive on the greaseproof paper. Well, this is on the underside of the greaseproof paper. This will just hold it in place while we do the ballasting. Right. We turn it back the other way. Get our PVA in the shot. Yeah, put some PVA on this. spread this out with a spatula on the greaseproof paper. It makes a horrible acky mess. Now you've got the job of fitting the greaseproof paper to the layout. So, drag this underneath. Yeah. Now we've got our piece of greaseproof paper in place, we can start applying ballast. Apply grey ballast in the middle. Doesn't matter how evenly it is distributed. I'll apply brown ballast along the sides. Here's the brown ballast. We are progressing with the ballasting. We've got round the corner. We've got around as far as the station area is concerned. This is the bit I've just done just now. I've put the greaseproof paper up as far as the level crossing. Now we have ballasted this part of the track, we can now move on to the other part of the layout. This is the part of the layout that is left to do. Because the other side of the layout has been ballasted and the tracks are fixed into place, it means that it's possible to remove these tracks and lay the paper rather than slide the paper underneath the ballast. So here I'm just going to unscrew each screw in turn, and releases the track. What I do is I get a little one of these creme brulee pots, glass dishes, and you put the track screws in there so they don't get lost. Now we can see where I've removed the track, so now I've got to cut some pieces of paper to go under the track. Put that there just to work out how big you only cut a piece of paper to fit. Doesn't need to be very accurate at all. There we go. So all I need to do now is just to put some Pritt stick on the paper. Slide this under the level crossing here. Lift that up a little bit and slide it under. So. That is now in place. What I've got to do now is smooth it down. There we are. That's how you smooth a piece of a bit more stick on that bit. Stick a bit more. So now when we come to ballast the track, it will not stick to the baseboard. There you can see the greaseproof paper stuck in position with the Pritt stick. Now here we are going to put wallpaper paste rather than use the Pritt stick, because we use too much Pritt stick to do this area, so we can just use this wallpaper paste. It's much quicker. When you do this, you don't want to paste the paper as you would do wallpaper, because it will all disintegrate. So now we've got this ready, we just put this in place. Now I've completed all the papering. I've papered this with greaseproof paper, you can see. So what I'm going to do now is just add some ballast here, just to improve this area here. Sprinkle the ballast on. Press it down. Having pressed it down, and hoover up the excess. And of course what you've hoovered up is in the vacuum cleaner, so just open this up. I'll put a bag, is a vacuum cleaner inside a bag. Yes. We'll tip this out back into the bag, so it's sort of recycled. If you look a bit closer here, you can see that has effectively added the ballast. Now we're going to do some more. Some more glue. Now we need to just press this down. And once again we need to hoover up what is not stuck. You can see it's a fairly easy method of ballasting, which isn't messy. There we are. Now the next thing we want to do is to ballast between this platform and the track. So what we do is we move the platform out of the way. You see here we've got this surface which we've put this what's it called, the greaseproof paper. So we go along here with this, the stick. Move the platform back to where we want it. That's correct. And then we get our ballast once again. Tip it out. The advantage of this method is you can just recycle the ballast as many times as you like. This area is supposed to be a siding, so what I'm going to do is use slightly darker ballast on this piece of track. For this part of the exercise, I'm going to use wallpaper paste for the area under the point because we don't want to get PVA anywhere near to the point. But for this part of the layout I can remove the tracks because these are only sidings and it will not disturb the layout geometry. We see here is where the point is going to be, so where the point is. I'm just going to mark this area with a pencil, just roughly, so that I don't Now that I've marked, I can just remove that from there. Just carefully lay this to one side. Now I get the vacuum cleaner, just soften it. Right, so for here, I'll mix up some wallpaper paste. I'll just apply this with a brush to the layout. Now we're going to apply the PVA to the area where we're going to have the tracks. Right, said Fred. Now it's a simple matter, we hope, to put the track in place. So check that's all correct. So let's put some ballast down over the point. This towards the where the engine shed is, I'm going to make dark, use slightly darker ballast. That's it, Red. There we go. With this kind of ballast, it's quite important to roll the along the track to press the ballast down into between the sleepers. Now, because this is PVA, we can't suck it up straight away because we have to allow it to leave it just a short while to allow the PVA to go off. But what we can do is move this back into place. Here now we put some more PVA. After I had made that video, I did not think I had adequately explained how this works. What you do is, you get, this is, if you imagine this is the baseboard, this is the greaseproof paper, what you do is you put the sticky, like this, on the greaseproof paper, and you apply that to the baseboard. You don't actually have to use this Pritt stick at all if you don't actually want to. And then you apply the track on top of that. No, start again. If you imagine that this is the baseboard and this is the foam core board which I put on top of the baseboard, then you apply the Pritt stick to the greaseproof paper, and you apply the greaseproof paper on top of the baseboard like that. Then you have to apply the PVA glue over the surface of the, like that, over the surface of the greaseproof paper. Then you put the track in place, like that. Then just tip the ballast over the track. There we have our nicely ballasted piece of track. The advantage of this method is if you decide you don't want, you wish to lift the track, you can just pull it up and it comes away from the baseboard like that. A nasty piece of ballasted track is on the greaseproof paper. And of course, how it works is we fix it into place with a track screw. So if we put the track screw through the hole in the, there you are, through the hole in the track, through into the base there like that, and that's secured in position. Simple.